Hey everyone, welcome back to the Winner Circle. I'm Derek.
And I'm Cody.
Happy holidays. As you're watching this, I believe it's going to be the day after Thanksgiving, so hopefully you had a good Thanksgiving. You're getting ready for Christmas. Let's be honest. Most of us just get through Thanksgiving because we want to get to Christmas, right? So You're probably wondering why we're here today. A few different reasons. We got a lot to catch you up on. Some things have happened in our personal lives. We also have some updates on Big Brother 23. We want to talk about how the dynamics of relationships change when they're on the show as opposed to post-show, why that happens, what may be some of the reasons behind it. And we're going to catch up on some other things, maybe some other TV shows. Whatever we don't catch up today, we'll probably cover next week or the week after. We're going to do a couple episodes over the holidays. But before we get into all that, Cody, how you doing, my man? We haven't talked much either. A lot is going on in your life. This is kind of a catch up for us as well.
Yes, dude. I mean, I'm an engaged man now. It's wild.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm walking around with my fiance.
Now, to be fair, I did know it was coming.
Yeah, of course.
We had talked about purchasing the ring, but fill us in on that real quick. How did that all go down? It looked amazing from what I saw on social media. Christy seems extremely happy. Shout out, Christy.
Oh, she's happy. She's happy. We're already, she's talking about venues and all that fun stuff. And I was like it happened immediately after, right? So it's like, we go to Italy. Everybody thought I was going to be proposing in Italy. They're like, oh, you blew it. You missed a great opportunity. And I'm a family oriented guy. You know this. And so It was never even a thought of doing it in Italy. I was like, I'm not doing it there. So we get back and that's when I immediately start going on the hunt for the ring. And it didn't take me long because I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew what she wanted. And so we get back and a little time passes by and I wanted to do it for our anniversary, which was in September, but I didn't have the ring yet. And it was right after Labor Day weekend. So I was like, oh man, then I have to push it. So October 22nd marks the day that I am an engaged man. We did it out in public. Actually, the story of it is pretty hilarious. So I did it in the public park. And with a public park, everybody knows, you can't just clear out the park.
Nope.
Unless you're going to make sure. Yeah. Unless you're making sure you got people there and then maybe there's people around, So I didn't clear out the park. I didn't go that route. So now you deal with some things. Right when we get to the park, there's a bunch of high school kids hanging out. High school girl, which obviously Christy's brother was there setting up the flowers and all the stuff. The photographer, who's a really close friend of mine, Danielle Kapik, she was there getting everything set up. And this high school group must have seen what was going on. So the girl, right when I get into the park, goes, wow, you really should ask her to marry you. And I was like, why would you say that to me?
Right in front of Christy.
Right in front of Christy.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm like,
damn.
Why would you say that to me? And now Christy starts asking me questions and she's like, wait, what? What is that? What is going on? I was like, I have no idea. But now what seemed like a short walk to get to the spot seemed like a mile and a half. Christy's in heels. We're going out to dinner in this area of Red Bank, which is by us. That's a really nice downtown area. So she's in heels. I'm dressed up. I start lugging her through the grass. I'm just dragging her. And now I'm in full blown panic mode. I don't know what.
You've been preparing for months and now could get screwed up in the last 2 minutes.
In the last second. And so I'm like, I don't know. So now we're halfway through what seemed, I think it might've been 50 yards that I had to get to. It seemed like 6 football fields away. So we finally get to the spot and I'm supposed to give the photographer Danielle time to get out, Christy's brother and his wife there time to get out to get a video. Danielle, my friend who's taking the photos, time for her to get out. I blacked out. I messed up completely. They barely got out in time. So now everything is done. She says, yes, it all works out. The video is completely botched because an ambulance drives by and it's louder than anything you could hear in the video. So that gets botched. And what I found out is 4 feet next to us, there were other high school kids that thankfully Christy's brother was there because a kid projectile vomited right next to the spot that I had set up. So I'm like, what is going on here? The sirens are going off. The girl almost ruins it. Throw up's next. And I'm like, are these signs? Should I have not done this? But needless to say.
No, those stories, those little nuances, those are what make it special. And you'll tell your kids and your grandkids all about that because those are the things, unfortunately, that you'll remember from the whole day. I mean, obviously she'll remember different things, but you setting it up, the trials and tribulations of making it go down, That's what you'll remember. Those are the stories that will be funny for other people down the road. But we got to take a quick second here because now that you're an engaged man, going to be married soon, I think we have the perfect thing for you, and it happens to be this week's sponsor, all right, guys, Manscaped. As you know, the holidays are upon us, and whether you're a guy looking to upgrade your manscaping package or you're a gal looking to get your husband or boyfriend the perfect gift that will not only benefit them but benefit you, we might have something for you here. It's the Manscaped Performance Package 4.0, and as Cody and I like to refer to it as, the perfect package for our balls and our body. Yes, jokes all around here today. So first off, we're going to hit you with there's a few different things in this package, and they're all very beneficial. We think there's going to be something in here for everybody. Inside the package, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance Boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all of your goodies. We're going to go over each item. They're all awesome, just to put it right out there. First off, let's talk about their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, which features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce your grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skincare technology. It also gives you the ability to turn the 4000 LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave, plus it's waterproof, so you can use it in the shower. The next item in the Performance Package 4.0 is the Weed Whacker. This chops the hairs out of your nose and ears. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't have any hairs in the ears yet, thank God, but I do have some long nose hairs from time to time. I never had one before. Now that I have the Weed Whacker, I haven't stopped using it. I love it. Second favorite item on the list.
And let's not forget the Manscaped's liquid formulations. They're like the pumpkin pie and ice cream after Thanksgiving dinner. You can't live without them. The Crop Preserver ball deodorant and Crop Reviver toner spray. Your balls will be living in turkey heaven for these formulations. And also for those deal seekers out there, Manscaped throws in an additional 2 free gifts in their Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Traveler Bag. Now, the Manscaped Boxers are probably the steal of this entire package because, yeah, Derek's showing them right now.
Got them right here. They're clean, folks. They're clean.
Yeah, they're super comfortable. The waistband, which is something that always annoys me about underwear, is great. But my favorite part of this Performance Package 4.0 is definitely the lawnmower trimmer, because for those of you out there that know how this goes, you chew yourself up a lot if you do not have the right buzzer. And for me, ever since I got the Manscaped 4.0 lawnmower, I am barely, like, I would say that you can't go ahead and like hammer yourself, but you could be a little aggressive and you're not, and I wasn't nicking myself up. Now, obviously everybody is different, so don't be like testing whether you're going to nick yourself up or not. But this trimmer has been the perfect thing for me because I tend to chew myself up a lot. And as Derek can tell you, or anybody else out there that has done it, it is painful. The showers are painful and it is very uncomfortable when you put your underwear on after the shower. So,
right.
This is a perfect holiday gift. Again, if you're a guy listening for yourself, or if you're a woman listening that's trying to, take care of your man this holiday season, it is absolutely perfect. And for those Winter Circle listeners, we get 20% off and free shipping if you use code WinterCircle at manscaped.com. Again, that's 20% off plus free shipping with code WinterCircle at manscaped.com. Get the best gift of all time this holiday season from Manscaped.
All right, so we're back, and all jokes aside, dude, you're like a brother to me. We've known each other for 7 years now.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like that, but it's been 7 years, and I'm extremely happy for you and Christy. Christy's an amazing woman, and some of the things that we've gotten to follow your journey, what she's gone through with her cancer battle, all those things that I experienced while talking to you. I knew from the jump she was the one for you in that. You guys are going to be together for the rest of your lives. I can't wait to be at the wedding. You haven't invited me yet, but I'm inviting myself. So I will be there.
Like, that goes without saying.
Yeah, I will be there, and I'm excited for you guys. And I'm sure here at the Winter Circle, make sure we're commenting down below, congratulating Cody and Christy on their engagement. Big deal over here. And so we got to keep doing the Winter Circle so you can pay for the wedding.
Yeah, no, big time. Because, I thought I was going to get a break. You know what I mean? I thought it's like, oh, I proposed, we got some time, but it's like, no, you like immediately start, talking about venues, getting a list together, having to go see the venues. I'm like, oh, man, but we're hitting it now. We're about a month afterwards, roughly a month out. So I have my time to just relax, take the time to enjoy being engaged. And now it's time for us to start locking down some of the venues, different places in New Jersey, to find what, is the perfect wedding for her. Cause I'm pretty easy, but I know she has She has a particular view of what she wants it to look like. So
as they should. This is something they've dreamt about since they were little kids, and it's a big day, and I'm happy for you guys. So guys, that's the big news. I'm gonna follow it up with something that's not nearly as important, but at the same time, it is very important in a lot of other ways. So you guys know that I'm heavily involved in the true crime community. I have a podcast called Crime Weekly. I've done some shows, etc. And recently I started a coffee company called Criminal Coffee. And the main purpose behind this coffee company was to obviously put out some really great coffee. Spoiler alert, I'm biased, but it is great. And more importantly, to use a portion of the proceeds to give back to the true crime community by helping fund cold cases. And a lot of cold cases, there's a lot of financial issues that come up, but the main issue is with DNA testing. It's super expensive. I've had situations where for each hair that we wanted to send off, it was like $3,000. And then you have other situations where you have like a Jane Doe or a John Doe or a baby Doe. Those are basically people who are deceased but haven't been identified. There's a bunch of DNA testing that needs to go into that to identify who they may be. And the way they do that is by using their bones or teeth to extract the DNA. They process it, then enter that DNA into a database, and they try to match it to a family member that may be alive or dead, so they can, reach out to any living relatives to say, hey, did you lose someone around this time? Mm-hmm. And it's basically, you got to be a detective and figure it out. But a lot of the times you don't even get to that point because you haven't done the DNA testing, which on average costs between $5,000 and $6,000. So crazy. We were really excited to recently announce that we just funded our first case. The Jane Doe is being referred to as Preble Penny because she was found in Preble County in Ohio. But the DNA testing is being done in Utah. So you guys might have saw on some of my social media lately, I went out there with my co-host Stephanie, who you guys have met on this channel. We went out there, we got to observe the actual testing, and we should have some results, knock on wood, in like 3 or 4 weeks. So we're hoping that we get some positive results. It's not a guarantee. Sometimes the preservation of the bones can have an impact on the quality of the DNA if there's a lot of bacteria in there. But we will definitely keep you guys updated here. And if you're someone who likes good coffee and wants to give back to a good cause, definitely go on over to Criminal Coffee. I believe it's criminalcoffeeco.com. Buy a bag of coffee. Right now, the sale might be ending as you're watching this, but right now there's a sale. If you put in the code TURKEY, you get 10% off. But either way, we'll have other codes, and I'll keep you guys updated on that as we go, because these next few episodes, while we're waiting for Big Brother to come back, are going to be more about Cody and I on a personal level. We may bring up some, we did this before. We may bring up some topics that are currently in the news, both good topics and bad topics, maybe some political stuff. We always know that's a landmine, but we want to let you guys into our lives. So as things come up, whether it's Cody with his process with the marriage, I'm sure there's going to be some funny stories there, or what I have going on my end, we'll definitely keep you guys in the loop on that.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Now, you funding that is absolutely insane, because I feel like that's why a lot of people don't really have closure, right? With some of these cold cases, family members,
100%.
So if you can DNA match, because what you just mentioned, it's something Preble Penny. If you can identify who this person is, how much does that help, like maybe reopening that case to try to figure out, okay, it is this person, they were found here, search the area? Because it's like, I guess if it's a random body that they haven't been able to identify, does that mean that they don't really search into that case? Like, I feel like, how does that not match up? Is there not somebody missing from that area that they can be like, oh, this body has not been found? Or is it, which is the saddest part about it, so many people are missing that they're like, we can't even identify which person this is. So it kind of goes unresolved.
It's a great question. So she was found after a flood in Ohio in like the 1960s. She was buried in a shallow grave. Her forearm was missing, and there wasn't much left over. So they reburied her body and then exhumed her remains in 2019 because now technology has advanced. But to answer your question, a lot of people go missing. They believe she's a woman in her 50s, but they're not exactly sure. They need to do this testing and hopefully identify her. But to answer your question, Yeah, there's family members out there right now who may not be immediate relatives, but maybe, second cousins or whatever, older, and where they lost a sister or a cousin or a daughter, and she just was on the missing persons reports, and they still to this day don't know what happened to her. They don't know if she's alive or dead. As far as the second part of your question, well, let's say this woman went missing in 1968, and the last person she was seen with was her boyfriend. And come to find out now there's maybe something more to it where there was some issues between the two of them. They go trace that back. We may solve a murder. And I will tell you, no guarantees, but the detective on this case, we've spoken with numerous times, his name's Adam Turner. He believes that it's potentially a murder because of the way she was buried. It wasn't near a known grave site. Okay. So she was probably buried in an area where people were hoping that she was never found again. And if it wasn't for this flooding, her body would have never came to the surface. So to your point, yeah, the main purpose is just giving her back her name, her real name.
Yeah.
And then if we can, trying to figure out what happened to her. But number one, like you said, giving her back her name, reuniting her with her family so that they have, I hate to even use the word closure, but they have some resolution where now they know that their loved one has been found and she can be buried properly and go through the formalities of what happens when someone dies, because she hasn't had that yet. So that's the main hope. But this is just Jane Doe's and John Doe's. I'll tell you what, dude, there's hundreds and thousands of cases right now where there's rape kits. So unfortunately, when a woman is sexually assaulted, they'll do a rape kit. It's put into a locker. There's such a backlog of those cases where they're unable to process them and maybe identify their offender. It's incredible. So this type of testing is going to help us do that.
Yeah. Well, that's absolutely insane, because I just feel like it happens so often that somebody goes missing, their body is never found, and then the case just gets closed. And I can't imagine how that is for families that just deal with it. And maybe it's something local, like maybe her body gets identified. Now, I'm having a hard time like wrapping my head around, whether her body is identified or not, how somebody can't figure out, like, because maybe I guess could it be something like somebody drove over state lines, found an area, dumped a body, and then left?
Yep.
So it may not even be from that immediate area.
That's the problem,
dude.
And they have a couple ideas of who it could be. There's
Right.
some missing women from that time frame, but without using DNA, you can't confirm it. So you can't just go and say, because it looks like is bones right now.
Right.
So it's one of those things where you can't just look at it and identify them. Dental records in the 60s might not have been as good as they are now.
Oh, of course not.
So there's a couple women that went missing during that time frame where they think it could be her, but without having this DNA testing done, there's no way to confirm it. And obviously you don't want to get it wrong.
No, of course not. Because what if it's somebody from out of state, and that could really open up something? It's like maybe something local was happening and nobody really knew about it, but now it's like more like on a grand scale where it's like this person traveled out, who was missing, maybe somebody close to the person in that, recent time after she went missing, that they were also gone for a period. Maybe like nobody thought anything of it. So 100%. That's wild.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff, and we're just getting started. This was the whole goal. It was $5,000. We already gave them the check. We went out to Utah, so now we're saving up again for the next one. We're obviously looking for results on Preble Penny, but as far as we're concerned, we're hoping the more money we raise, the more often we can do this, the more happy endings we might get. That's the goal.
Totally.
So it's something that I've been passionate about for a very long time. When I was on Breaking Homicide, there were many cases that needed DNA testing, and you have the network that can pay for it. But what about all the other cases? What about the hundreds of thousands of other cases out there that haven't been solved? And now with the advancements in science and technology, you can go revisit those and maybe make a difference. That's the goal anyways.
Totally. That's awesome. That's awesome that you guys are doing that, bro. I love that. And the coffee is awesome.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. I'm going to have some, I got another box going. I got a box going out to you and Christy. You've got boxes going everywhere, but it is very good coffee. Like I said, I'm biased, but it's straight from Colombia, Guatemala, Costa Rica. There's three different blends. Go check it out. There's also, if you're into like fictional stories about, true crime, we have characters associated with the bag, and there's an update on those characters each month, I should say, on the website. So that's just like, I call it the adult cereal box. So you can kind of read up on the characters as you're drinking your coffee.
Brilliant.
Yeah. All right. You want to change gears to something more lighter?
Well,
something a little bit more fun?
I mean, kind of back to the relationship stuff, right? We started off talking about the proposal and all that, but I feel like that's what people want to hear about the most. Any relationships that were in the house and what they're like outside of the house, what it's like going through that, navigating it, maybe relationships forming that weren't there, maybe something rekindling. So I think this is what the people want to hear about.
You're talking Big Brother 23.
We're talking Big Brother showmances or post showmances.
Post showmances. So you want to start with the obvious one, Taylor and Joseph. I mean, they recently announced, I think it was via People, that they are officially a couple. Although I will say, I don't think anyone was surprised by that, right? We all saw that coming.
Well, I want to say, bro, you never know. You never know. And it's like, so you go out there, you leave the show, and it's like, for me, I was thinking, well, maybe they're just tight. Maybe they just had a really good friendship and a really great relationship. And then after the fact, he was there for her. He's an extremely genuine person, right? So like,
seems like a really good guy.
Yeah, man, he's just a really good guy. So maybe he was just supporting her there for her. We don't know if there's like that physical attraction there. So I got to be honest with you. In the beginning, I was like, maybe they're just friends. Maybe they're just super close. He's there for her. And, you know, he wants to stay out in LA for a while because, like, they stayed out in LA for forever. I think they were, like, one of the last two to leave. And so maybe it could have been that because I was like, what's going on here? They're not really talking about it. And then I kind of, like, faded off because I thought either immediately they were going to announce it or they were going to wait. And they waited. And I kind of, you know, I'm not like the gossip column, so I kind of lost interest. But then I saw they are official. I don't know what to feel about it. I don't know what to feel.
I mean, I'm happy for him. I know Taylor was, very into him. We didn't know as much about Joseph because he was in the jury house. And also he was kind of hit with some stuff on finale night. We don't have to rehash that. But let's be honest. There's some people who would say that's a deal breaker for me. You know, that happened after we had met. And, you know, I'd rather start fresh with someone else. But Joseph, you know, he had feelings for Taylor. You could tell he had feelings for her. And clearly those feelings have grown since the show. And I will say, and you can attest to this, it's kind of like our friendship. When you're in that house, it's a short period of time in the grand scheme of life, but there's so many hours in a day and you're with them constantly that your relationship is magnified by 100 in there. You go through so many things that would take years to go through in the outside world in that period of 50, 60 days that you're together. And so they clearly got a good vibe from each other. They've had the opportunity post-show to go out and do some things together, some photo shoots, some guest appearances, and they've probably just been enjoying each other's company. Totally. Who knows what's going to happen? Are they going to go on and get married and be the next, you know, Jeff and Jordan? Who knows? But I'm happy for him to not only win the show like Taylor did and to also come out of it with someone who you care about and are going to try and spend, you know, the foreseeable future with together. Maybe, who knows, get married one day. That's a Taylor won this season. And she really did like have the perfect win on this season.
Oh, it was insane. And to come out with winning it and then be with somebody. And I will say this, just piggybacking off of what you said, like there's a lot of people that come off the show and they're like, we're back in the real world, you know.
Yep.
You know, even friendships, you know, for me, I didn't have any showmans. I had friendships that I came out of the house with. You and me grew because what happens is you come off the show and what is the driving force of your relationship? Is it just a experience that you shared together, or do you now start sharing outside experiences, your life? What got you to the point in your life that you're at, you know, when you come off the show? And then what is happening after the fact? And I think the relationships, why I think ours grew, was because it became like we would be talking about Big Brother, and that's where obviously our relationship started. But we've talked about other things, issues that we're having in our life, like, you know, helping each other, getting advice from one another, like bonding over outside of
post-show experience,
post-show experience stuff, and just life experience, right? And I think the fact that they kind of held off on it and then decided to say that they were official makes me feel like after the show, when a lot of it is just like the fluff of like, yeah, we were on the show, like, you know, Zach's my boy, yeah, Beast Mode was my boy, but like you and Frankie, like I started hanging out with Frankie a lot in the city, not Big Brother conversations, talking about acting, talking about auditioning, different things that he was doing, his Broadway shows. Bonded with Frankie over that, which I felt like moved our relationship and our friendship further. You and me, about your family, about my family. You came to visit my family. I came up and stayed by you. We went to Dallas together. We were flying together. So it was like
New Jersey. Yeah,
we had the thing in New Jersey where you and I are attached
Orlando.
to the hip. We did the thing in Florida. You and I are attached to the hip. Like you bond where there were other people at those things where I was around them, but not really around them.
Yeah.
And so the relationships
you get to see who people really are.
Yeah.
Right. Because outside the show, regardless, we're always like like a subtler version of ourselves in Big Brother because you can't say everything you want to say.
Right.
They know the camera's on. So when the cameras are off, we don't have to say names, but there's a lot of people that we've met on camera and then off camera, they're like a completely different person.
Yeah.
And maybe you like them more off camera, but
Yeah.
there's some instances where you're like, damn, this person's kind of a loser. You know, I'm not a big fan.
Or like, wow, that person was really being a character. And like, look, they are a pretty down to earth person. Like you see stuff like that. And so it's, my point was that the fact that they like took that time and they were definitely together. Then they were separated a little bit, like not separated relationship wise, distance wise. Then they're back together, like they're with each other. So it's like, I feel like they have a good like feel for one another. And I don't know. At first I thought maybe this is just a friendship, but now I'm thinking like, dude, they may be like
for real.
Real.
Yeah, they might go the distance. We hope they do. Obviously, we hope they're the next engaged couple on Big Brother. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. They got the money for it now. That's for damn sure. Weddings will not be a problem.
With cake. She, what was it, like over 800K?
800K. Yeah, she did all right. And then she's obviously had post-show experiences. She's on Watch What Happens Live.
Bold and the Beautiful.
I know you were on Bold and the Beautiful. I know you were on that as well. And then they're doing these guest appearances all over the country, making cheddar. There's crazy money to be made in that. Definitely jealous of that. Missed those days. That was easy money.
That was fun. Yeah, it was easy money, but it's like, it's part of it, which is cool. Like, I feel like when we were first doing it, people were hating on us. But now it was like, go do it, man. Now it's like, what are you doing?
And those clubs and those things.
Yeah.
I wasn't even a club guy, but I was like, yup, I'll be there. Calgary, on my way.
Yeah.
Come on up.
And it was, there was a lot of people out there to see us and like to, interact with us. So if they can do it, if you're one of the people that come off the show and you can do this circuit, you get it
because it don't last. It's a short window too.
Yeah.
It's a small window.
Yeah.
So if you get those calls, don't say, "Oh, I'm gonna blow them off for now and do it later." Because once the new season comes out, you're not gonna get those calls more than likely. So take advantage of them while you can. However, we got one more couple to talk about. I think we didn't know this was gonna be the case, and I'll speak for myself. I didn't think it was gonna be the case, but Alyssa and Kyle, it appears now. They haven't had like an official announcement, but it's pretty much Instagram, social media official.
Yeah.
They are together. They're in love, according to them, and they're going full bore. What is your takeaway on that? Because here was the interesting thing. We went kind of hard on Alyssa. Yeah. She didn't really stick up for Kyle in the house and all these things. And in hindsight, she probably played it the right way to wait to get out and see what was being said and what she missed, like to get the full context. But, I don't think we're speculating here. Clearly, she went back. She watched the show. She heard all sides of the argument and decided, man, I don't think Kyle's as bad as he was being portrayed in the house, because I don't think if she felt that way, she would be with him right now. What's your take on this whole situation? Because it kind of came full circle.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you just said. I think she got off, saw what was being talked about through Michael and Brittany and how they skewed it towards their game narrative. And, we watched, I sat there with the whole interview with Michael and Tiffany and was listening to the whole thing. Like, Michael just obviously still just wants to make it seem like it had no relevance to game. Whatever.
Yeah, you were producing that episode.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, Cody was producing all of Tiffany's episodes, so he was behind the camera in every one of those episodes.
So, but after I think maybe seeing some of the clips, seeing some of the conversation, seeing where Michael and Brittany got this from and how they really blew it into this huge thing where Alyssa had no idea, she was in the dark about it, and she sees all this, she decides this is a good guy. I want to be with this guy. And what we felt in the house, we can now grow afterwards. So, I mean, I'm happy for them. I think, it's a tough situation, right? We talk about it all the time. Like, I was very critical of Alyssa in that moment. And also in the week when they were outside and, how she was towards Joseph, I was very critical, which, I don't hold back. I've been critical of, Daniel when he was doing stuff towards Taylor. Like, I have my opinion. I hope that she came out and was like, hey, I should have had your back and like known. But then again, I was watching Kyle on the season. Kyle didn't even like defend himself.
No, he definitely was, he got caught off guard. But I mean, in that said, he did say some things that, I think Xavier said it best. It's okay to think certain things, but to say them out loud, if you're going to say them, you got to make sure you articulate yourself correctly because it could be misinterpreted. But I do think there was some ignorance there. He said that. That's not me.
Yeah.
Where he's looking at a group of people because of the way they look and assuming that they're together when they shouldn't have been. So there's growth there. And maybe that's something that behind the scenes he's doing, maybe with Alyssa, maybe by himself. But regardless, that's his personal choice. I had said on the show, you know, he's very apologetic now and all these things. We'll see how he goes going forward. I haven't really seen anything in regards, so it's kind of like he's just, you know, letting that I don't know what the saying would be, but letting that sleeping dog lie.
Yeah.
And that's cool. That's his choice. I know some people are happy about them being together. I know some people are not. The moral of the story is, who cares what anybody thinks? If those two are happy together and they end up going on and growing from this experience, and because of their bond in the house, outside the house, they end up getting engaged and married just like Taylor and Joseph maybe do, then what do we care?
Yeah.
Why do you care? Just be happy for people if they find love and move on with your lives and on to the next season that we can be critical of.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait to be critical. I think I'm going to get more critical. I'm like getting more and more critical as the time goes by. Like I feel like
we kind of like it. We like it. We get the comments going.
Of course. And then people see it. They come off the show and they're like, "Oh shit!" Like I know there was a whole new video made of what I said on the Winner Circle about Alyssa. And so,
really?
Yeah, there was a whole nother video that like ended up getting like an upward of like almost like 20K views. I'm like, so what I said on the Winner Circle is now being used in another video, which hey, I thought it was awesome.
Oh, you know what? Wasn't it like a media company? We won't say it, but there was someone that was like I
can't remember what it was, but somebody tagged me in it, and then I saw it, and then I kept like looking. I was like, look at the views on this continuing to go up. But hey, listen, I just, you know, that's what happens when you have an opinion. People, you know, you can't just be even keel. But you know, to Kyle and Alyssa, they seem to be like very much so in love, very much so enjoying each other's company, and I love to see that no matter what, because I'm a fan of love. Sorry.
You are clearly.
I'm a fan of love, dude. And so to see like Joseph and Taylor growing into what they are, seeing Kyle and Alyssa sort out whatever they had, whatever they were going through. And honestly, they seem genuinely happy together. I'm so happy for it all. Whether I, you know, would I have given Alyssa a chance? I don't know. If I was in Kyle's shoes.
I think you would have. I think you would have.
Think
You're
so?
a softie.
But
I think so.
I mean, I don't know about Joseph. I'd be like this. Wait, hold on. You and him did what?
Yeah, see that, and that I think about myself like Joseph's a better man than me because I would struggle with that, and so I'm saying that and as a negative towards me. Like props to Joseph, he's just so confident in himself, like he can do that. Not everyone can. Some people that would be a deal breaker, but I think he's a better man for it because that's how it should be. Even though we're not all like that.
And but
I want to go back to something.
Great. The relationship is great, Joseph and Taylor.
Their relationship's solid. You can tell that like they're a fortress. They're a dynamic duo. They're out there killing it. They look great together. They're both intelligent people.
Yep.
They both kind of balance each other really well. It seems like they're not just robots where they're both the exact same person. I love it. I love the two couples that came out of this season. I think they're both great. I think they're completely different, which makes it even cooler.
Yeah.
But something you just said, you can't wait to talk about future seasons. I think we might have hit on it before, but Big Brother has been renewed for what? 2 more years?
I think so. Yeah.
2 more years. And quick thing, we don't got to go too deep into, you probably don't even know this, but Netflix just announced that they're putting Big Brother on Netflix. So only 2 seasons right now, seasons 10 and 14, which I don't hate because 10 is probably my favorite season and 14 was pretty phenomenal too. But
bullshit is that?
Well, I mean, think about it. They're going to start with 2 seasons that they know are hitters. And
go with 16, the number 1 rated season on viewership and everything. It's season 16.
Well, I think they probably would put 16 on there eventually because we're the first, whether you liked our season or not, we're the first high definition season. Good. You remember that? That was a big thing. But Netflix now, I think it's December 2nd. Big Brother seasons 10 and 14 will be on Netflix. So
season 14
it was
is
funny.
Literally one of my favorites. So
it's awesome. It's awesome. And Dan had put a tweet out there or whatever, but he's like, we're gonna get some residuals on that, and I'm like, yeah, dude, imagine that'd be great. Right? Netflix is the real deal. So congrats to Big Brother making that move. That's a smart move. If they want to get more eyes,
that's some bullshit. And as an actor, I know how the residuals work. I get checks like from different things. The Netflix movie I did you blinked and you missed me. I still get paid for that.
So you didn't know about this?
No.
I put it here first for you.
Dude. That's a big deal. Netflix like is huge that they bought, but again,
I think
now
Survivor was already on Netflix some of the seasons, and now they're putting Big Brother on there as well.
Yeah, they better 16 better be, and then obviously they have to put the All-Star season. No big deal.
Yeah, let's go. Let's
I think 16 just is like goes without say. Like I don't understand why that wasn't negotiated.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably something where 10 is just fire. 10 is fire. 14's great. There's got to be a rationale behind it. Maybe they don't want to put all of the seasons on there right now because they want people to go over to Paramount Plus. They want people to watch on CBS because they put all the seasons on Netflix. Why are you going to go and sign up for Paramount Plus? So there's definitely some things going on there that, you know, people smarter than us are making certain business decisions.
Obviously not, because 16 is the best season of all time, so I'll stick to that.
Dude, I'm thinking it and you're saying it. I'm pumped for it. It's good for Big Brother. We're part of that family for life. So yeah, I hope our season's on there eventually as well. But shout out to Dan Giesling and the rest of the crew because they're about to get some, probably about to get some followers.
Yeah, who do you got? You got Dan, Janelle. Man, but
no,
it's season 14.
Janelle wasn't on 10.
Janelle was on 14.
Oh shit, she was on 14. You're right. She was on 14.
Brittany, who was incredible on season 14.
Boogie, Dan Giesling, Ian.
I mean, Dan. It's like you got Frank Udy's booty. The Dan's funeral is on season 14. You got Ian.
Oh, your boy Memphis.
Memphis on season 10. I think those are two good seasons because one, season 10, the birthday cake and all the drama on season 10.
Yes,
Libra. And season 14 had drama. So like I will say those are probably two good like
we didn't have the drama. We
did. We had the personalities. So like we had personalities which if you want to get hooked to the game,
dude, 10. I would take 10 over 16 as far as the drama.
Yeah.
And totally. You had a mastermind edit on there as well with Dan. You had Mr. Pectacular. Can't forget him. We had Mr. Pectacular on season 10. Some big ass characters. Jerry. Crazy characters.
Keisha was there. She was America's favorite that season.
What was the one dude begins with the name began with Michelle, Portuguese princess. Can't forget her.
She's on there on
my girl from
10.
Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Yep. She had some drama. Yeah, that season's fire. I could talk all day about it.
Yeah.
But what's the kid's name with the begins with can't remember. What was his name? They were on the feeds having sex up in the room. I can't remember his name, but he was funny.
Netflix.
Yeah, show it on Netflix. But so shout out to that. And we are going to have future seasons. Big Brother's coming back, so Winner Circle will be back. We're going to have myself, Cody, and Tiffany. We are going to do a couple episodes over the holidays, so we're going to have Tiffany on a couple of those as well. Any final thoughts before we go, Cody?
No, I just want everybody to have an incredible Thanksgiving. You'll be seeing this episode on or after Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to all of you that have really supported our channel. You've helped our channel grow immensely. Like I can't believe from last year to this year, just the support for Tiffany coming on here and being our live feed correspondent. The support for Derek and I, you guys are absolutely incredible. So we love you. We love doing this for you, especially in season. And so we're trying to figure out how to make this grow and sustain throughout the years. Last year, you saw Derek and I were kind of playing around with it a little bit, but we want to make sure this is sustaining. So if you guys are watching this stuff, it's off season right now. It's a perfect time to share it. If there's something that you talked about on here that made you laugh, something that you agree with, disagree with, share it out there. Get other people to see it. Get other people inside of this family, because the only way for us to continue doing this year round is to really substantially grow so that all of our videos do as well as in season. So we love you guys and love the support. So make sure you guys are liking, commenting down below, and sharing this video out there.
Well said. And again, we want to thank the sponsor of this week's episode, Manscaped. Again, if it's a gift for you or your loved one, just head on over to manscaped.com and use our code, the Winner Circle or the
Winner Circle. Winner Circle.
One more time. I got it this time. We're done. Well said. And again, we want to thank this. Well said. And again, we want to thank this week's sponsor, Manscaped. If you want to get a gift for yourself or your loved one, just head on over to manscaped.com and use our code WinnerCircle. It not only supports them, but it also extremely helps us, helps the channel grow. We would appreciate it. As always, we appreciate you joining us here on the Winner Circle. We will see you next week.